Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday the 22nd of April. Yeah, so I go back to school tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not ready. I hardly did any study over my break. I basically did no study. I had an amazing time reading though. I read so many books. I've had so much fun. I made heaps of videos for booktube, so I just want to continue doing that. I don't want to go back to school, but tomorrow will come. Anyway, for this week, I need to really focus on my Tome Topple books because I haven't finished anything for Tome Topple yet, and the readathon finishes on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So my first priority is going to be The Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm like 400 pages into this. No, I'm not. I'm only 300 pages into this. Yeah, I really need to try and finish this. I'm really enjoying it, but it did take me a good 150 to 200 pages to get into it. So now I'm like really getting into it. So yeah, this is my first priority of the week. I have the audiobook for sorry, I just finished that. I have the audiobook for Clash of Kings, so I'm going to listen to this throughout the week and hopefully finish it. If I get those two done, then I'm going to read The Girl Who Played with Fire, and I also can get the audiobook out for that. The only other book I want to try and get to is I want to try and finish Ruin Rising. I've nearly finished it, so I'll just finish that when I can. I'm going to put my hours on hold for the week because I kind of worked it out, and because I've read a lot of books that weren't for my hours. All the books I read for the Grishaverse weren't actually part of my hours, but I can actually fit them into my hours. So these are my main priority for the week. So just two big books. Like I said, I'll go back to school tomorrow, and so I'll have 3 days of school this week, but I don't have any assessments due, so I'm hoping that I can just focus all my time on reading while I'm not at school. So we'll see how it goes. I just gotta make sure I'm productive. If I don't get distracted, I'll be fine. Hey guys, so it is Thursday now. It's actually Thursday night. I hadn't uploaded my weekly reading vlog from last week. This morning I finished up editing it, and then I was trying to upload it, and it literally took me like the entire day. I don't know what was going on. My internet's supposed to be good, but clearly not. It took me so many hours to upload it. It's finally up. I was kind of getting worried for a minute there. I spent a lot of the time today doing that. I also kind of made a plan for all the videos I'm going to have in the next month, like on the date. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to upload videos on Monday, Wednesday and Saturdays, so Australian days. So if you're in the US, it will be like Sunday, Tuesday and Friday, I think. Because I'm back at school, I needed to have some sort of schedule and plan it all out, because I'll be busy and won't be able to do things spontaneously. So I also did that. I've also been reading The Orange of the Priory Tree. So I think I last updated you on Monday. I had school all day Tuesday and Wednesday. I also did finish Ruin Rising. I would grab it, but it's over there. I really enjoyed it. It was a reread. I knew what I was getting into. It was really nice to refresh myself on all the small, like, I'd forgotten so much, and it was really nice to go back and remind myself on what actually happened. And I just really love the world. It's really, really great, and I think it's really cool to see how much the world was expanded upon in the Six of Crows duology. So that was good. I've also been reading The Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm up to about 530 pages all the way through, and I've got that much left. So I have about 300 pages left. I'm hoping I want to finish this today. That was my goal, because today's Thursday, then we have tomorrow, which is Friday. I have school all day tomorrow, and then I'm going out tomorrow night, and then we have Saturday, and Saturday's the last day to Tome Topple, and I haven't finished the book yet, so whoops. Like, I want to finish this today And then I'm hoping to finish A Clash of Kings on Saturday before the end of Tome Topple. And I'm not going to get to my other 2 Tome Topple books. There is no way. I don't have the time. I kind of overestimated myself in that, but I mean, I've been reading heaps. I don't know. Far with this, I don't know if I really said, I don't think I've said much about this, but the first nearly 200 pages is really, really slow. There's a lot of world building, a lot of setup, and you follow 4 points of view. So we follow a young woman who's in her mid-20s, I think, called Ied, and she is like a close attendant to the queen. Then we follow Tane, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and she is from the East, and the East is very Asian inspired, and in the East they really worship dragons and they see them as gods, and Tane is actually training to be a dragon rider. And whereas in the West, where Ied, the first character I mentioned, is from, the dragons are feared, and they are more Western inspired dragons, so they are like fire breathing dragons with wings, whereas the dragons in the East are more water sort of dragons. The third character we follow is Nicolas Ruse, and he is an older man who was originally from the West, but he has been exiled to the East, and he's a doctor of sorts. He knows alchemy. The fourth character we follow is a young man called Loth, who is a lord, and he is currently on a mission that has him journeying across the country. Yeah, so there's a lot of setup at the beginning. I'm really, really loving it now. I really love Ied. I think she's my favorite character, or she's definitely my favorite point of view, and yeah, it's really interesting. It's all kind of starting to come together, and it's really good. I really like the dragons, and I really like how Samantha Shannon's taken inspiration from like Eastern and Western dragons. Like, it's really interesting. It's just makes the world very diverse, but also very complex, because you have, one country that worships the dragons and you have one country that fears them. Oh, and the overall plot of this is there is this big bad dragon called the Nameless Dragon that was destroying the world 1,000 years ago and was put into a slumber, and now there's all these signs that are popping up that the Nameless One is awakening, and the events of the story all revolve around that. So yeah, it's really good. I'm really loving it so far. It's so complex though. Like, I can't even imagine how much research she would have had to do, and it's crazy. I think I heard someone say that she is going to do a companion novel, which I would really love to see, because the magic in this is really cool as well, and it's just such a rich world. And it's like, I want there to be a book too. Like, I've got 300 pages to go, but I'm like, there's not gonna be another book. Why? Ooh, I got a new book. Oh, I already opened it, but I got Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, and look at this spine. Isn't that beautiful? Like, I love it. And like the end pages, I love that. And under the dust jacket it says let them fear her. So I don't know much about this. I think it's meant to follow the story of like an anti-hero, and it follows a female. I don't want to know too much, but I'm really intrigued. And it was on special on the Book Depository, so this edition was only like $20. And if you don't know, in Australia hardbacks can be priced up to $50. It is ridiculous. So to get a hardback for $20 is honestly a bargain. So I picked it up, and yeah, I probably won't get to this until next month because I'm still doing my owls, but I'm really excited to read this. What else do I have to update you? Oh, okay, so I actually joined Twitter. I did have a Twitter account in the past, but honestly, all I did was sign up to Twitter and I never used it. I do not know how to use Twitter, but I'm gonna do it because I think there's a lot that goes on in the book community over there, and you know, you always hear when people are doing readathons, so like, you know, go to Twitter, you can link your video and all that, so, and follow the readathons and the reading sprints and all of that. So I decided to join so I can partake in all the shenanigans that go on over there. I will have my Twitter account linked down below if you want to follow me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but yeah, that's all I have to update you on. So yeah, I'm gonna go settle down, read the rest of this because I really want to finish it. Gonna be married? Okay. You can be in my video. Yeah. Okay. Hey guys. Mommy's gonna film now. I have to film now. Kisses later. Hey guys, so it is Saturday night. I did not update you yesterday because I had school all day and then I had something on last night. But Tome Topple ends tonight and I didn't finish any of the books on my TBR. I'm going to finish The Orange of the Priory Tree. I have only 100 pages left of this, so I'll definitely finish this tonight. I'm listening to the audiobook of this and I'm currently 200 and over 220 pages in this. I'm really liking it. I mean, it's kind of nostalgic now to read this because, you know, the final season of Game of Thrones is currently out and it's really cool to see, you know, the beginning of the story and where all these characters started. And my plan is to finish it before the end of the month. So yeah, I won't finish this for Tome Topple, but oh well. To be honest with you guys, I'm really in the mood to read one of my latest books, which wasn't on my TBR for the month, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. And that is Wicked Saints. So I think I'm just gonna pick this up after I finish The Priory of the Orange Tree. I don't know, I'm just feeling really like in the mood for this, even though I don't even know much about this book. It's just, okay, this is kind of hard because I feel like I'm betraying you guys by not like following my TBR. You know what? I think I'm just gonna do it. I think I'm gonna pick this up tonight because I'm excited, you know? I'm excited for this, so it's gonna happen. Okay, so this here are all the books that I had set for my owls. Okay, so the first book up here, Wicked, was for Ancient Runes, and that was to read a retelling, and that's done. I then have Illuminae, and Illuminae was for Arithmancy, and that was to read a book with multiple authors. Then Morning Star is for astronomy, and that was to read a book with Star in the title. Then we have Kara Magical Creatures, and that was to read a book that has a land animal on the cover, and as you can see, that has a wolf. I have not read that yet. So those three there I have read, but that one I have not. We then have The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and that was for Charms, and that was to read an adult piece of work. We then have Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, and that was for Defensive Against the Dark Arts, which was to read a book that starts with R. Then we have Unwind, and that was to read a book set in the future. And these three I have not read, but I think I can trade them. And then we have The Gilded Rules, which was for herbology, to read a book with a plant on the cover. I've read that one. And over here we have Muggle Study, which was to read a contemporary book, so I read just one day. Then we have Potions, which is to read a sequel, so I read Golden Sun. And Red Rising was for Transfiguration. And lastly, we have History of Magic, which is to read a book that was published over 10 years ago, and I chose Temeraire. So, these are all the books. I'm going to take out now all the books that I have not read. So, I've taken out all the books I have not read, and I've just put them here. So these ones here are the unread ones, and those are the read ones. So, I need 5 more books to replace it. But I actually have finished these books, so I can add these in. Okay, so I just put those unread books back, and I'm going to go through and replace them. So the first one, I think, which is really easy to replace, is Red Sister. And the prompt for this was to read a book that starts with R. And so for this, I'm going to put Red Rising. That is easy. The next book I'm going to replace is The Fifth Season. This was with Charms to read an adult work. And I haven't finished, but I've nearly finished and will finish before the end of the readathon, is The Orange of the Priory Tree. So that's another book replaced. Now, I'm going to have to do a bit of switching around here. So this is where it gets a little bit messy. So I'm going to take out Unwind. This was for Divination to read a book set in the future. I'm going to replace it with Golden Sun. Golden Sun is a book set in the future. And for Potions, I'm going to put Crooked Kingdom, which is a sequel. So the only two I haven't changed is Temeraire and Trigger Warning. So Kara Magical Creatures and History of Magic. So the only book that I've read this month that was published over 10 years ago is Wicked. So Temeraire is for History of Magic, and I haven't finished it, but I'm going to get myself to finish it before the end of the month, is A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. So this book was published over 10 years ago. And yeah, so the only book I think I have to actually read is Trigger Warning from this. Because these are the 3 other books I've read this month. But I don't know, like, could you count this bird as a land animal? Could you count this? Well, that's not an land animal, that's a sea dragon. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to read Trigger Warning, and yeah. I hope that went well, but I don't have a tripod and I film on my phone, so hopefully that footage is okay. But basically that gave you a visual of all the books I have read, well, all the books I set for my Owls TBR, and the ones I've read and the ones I haven't, and ones I'm going to replace for the challenges. And basically that told me was, okay, so I'm going to finish this. So this is going to be my Charms book now. I'm going to finish A Clash of Kings before the end of Tuesday, and this will be my History of Magic. And I am going to read this as well. I've actually marked this already, so I might start tonight and just read a couple stories and then finish this before the end of the week. Ooh, before Tuesday. And then I get Kara Magical Creatures done. And then what I want to start tonight after I finish Orange of the Priory Tree is Wicked Saints, because I'm just really in the mood. So yeah, so these are all the books I'm going to read and finish before the end of the month. And yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I don't want to force myself to rush through a lot of those other books, like especially Red Sister and The Fifth Season. And I want to be able to read those and then straight away continue on with this rest of the series. I'm upset I didn't get to them this month. I should have started them sooner, but oh well. Hey guys, so it's Wednesday, the 1st of April. I haven't vlogged in the last couple of days, and I haven't wrapped up this vlog, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I've been really busy. I'm back at school, so I had school the past 2 days, and I've just had to work away because I have an assessment due Friday, a couple of assessments due next week, and an exam next week as well. So it's an open book exam, so it's not too bad, but I still need to do heaps of work, so that's why I haven't updated you. I finished 3 books this week, and 2 of them were huge, so I'm really happy. First book I finished was Ruin Rising. This was a reread. I really love this series overall. I love the ending of this series. I love endings. I know when this book came out that the ending was kind of controversial, but I really like it. I really love this world, and I'm really excited for whatever comes next. I don't really know what to rate these books. Like, I gave them all 4 stars on Goodreads, but they're probably more like a 3.4. No, they're probably more like a 3.5 to 3.75 stars. Like, not quite a 4, but nearly. The second book I finished was The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I loved this so much. I really love the world. I think she's gonna write more in this world but with different characters, and I really hope that does happen, because yeah, there was just so much to this world. I really loved how all the different cultures in this world and all the religions were built around this one event, and all the different interpretations, and how that was all slowly revealed throughout the book. That was really fun. Iad was my favorite character. My one criticism for this is I did think it was wrapped up way too quickly. It was just, you know, we were building till this one event the entire book, and then it was wrapped up in like 30-20 pages. It just happened way too fast. But yeah, other than that, I really loved it, and I gave this 4 stars. Oh, and this was for Tome Topple. So the second book I managed to finish. I read a fair bit of this in Tome Topple, and this was the Tome Topple book, but I didn't finish it until after the readathon, and that was A Clash of Kings. This I really loved. It was really fun to read this while currently watching the final season of the TV show. It's really cool to see where all the characters started off and be reminded of things that happened so long ago in the TV show series, and you know, just to get more of the narrative overall was great. This was so nostalgic at this point. I love Game of Thrones. I don't watch a lot of TV these days because I don't have the time, and I'm not really super interested, but Game of Thrones is just, you know, I've watched it since the beginning, and yeah, it's been really great. I gave this 5 stars. I don't know how accurate that rating is, because like I said, this book was super sentimental, so. And I also started Wicked Saints. I'm like 100 or so pages into this, and yeah, I didn't finish this, but this will probably be the first book I finish in May, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I was confused by the first chapter. It was a very abrupt start, but it's really cool. It follows this girl who can speak to the gods, and there's like this really cool magic system, and it's set in like a Russian, I want to say, kind of setting. It's cool. And it seems to be getting a lot of buzz at the moment. A lot of people seem to be really enjoying it, so I have high hopes. So that's it for my weekly reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're enjoying whatever you're currently reading, and I'll see you next time.